Ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening to this, then welcome back. It is, I believe, episode 13. And I am so excited to once again, he's been on here before, but I'm so glad to introduce you once again to my very good friend and former co-host of Woter of the Round Table, Andrew Goodyear.
Hello, everyone, to this podcast. I'm so happy to be the first returning guest for this podcast, and that's what I can think of.
Mate, you really are as well. You're the first person that's returned back, so thank you so much. When you reached out, I was like, dude, I've definitely got to have you back on, because there's so much that we need to catch up on. Mm-hmm. The last time we spoke on this podcast, it was actually 2020. We were in the middle of the pandemic.
Yep.
Would we even say it was the middle of the... No, it wasn't. It was early days, wasn't it?
Yeah, early days.
It was May time.
Yeah, early days, and things are a lot better now than it was then, so...
Absolutely. Absolutely, and thank God for that. So, Andrew, the last time we spoke on this podcast, you were the creator of J Soundbites.
Yes, that is correct.
Are you still involved in J Soundbites?
Not anymore, I'm not. It's on a indefinite hiatus, and because of doing Woter of the Round Table, work just got in the way, so that's the reason why it's on hiatus. But I will do it again at some point. It's just a matter of when, because also I've been working on a couple of things as well, so which I'll be talking about in this podcast.
Fantastic, and I can't wait to get on to that. We will move on to that shortly, but first, Andrew, I need to address some things.
What's that?
So, Middlesbrough.
Oh, shut up!
What happened, Andrew?
I don't know, but I didn't watch it, but I'm not fussed, to be honest, but still, shut the fuck up.
So, to any of the listeners who have not followed the saga of Woter of the Round Table, Andrew, my good friend here, wonderful bloke, you wouldn't even suspect he was a Man United fan, but he is. And to anybody who's listening who doesn't know Woter of the Round Table, I am a Liverpool fan. So there's a lot of banter. If there's anybody listening to this who hasn't listened to Woter of the Round Table, then you really, really are missing out on so much. It is by millions of percent much better than this. So I highly recommend it. Fortunately for you, Andrew, we did end Woter of the Round Table before that catastrophic 5-0 defeat. Because could you imagine the episode that came out after that bad boy?
Yeah. At least I'm much better off being a Man U fan than Watanabe's bitch that you are.
That is true. Hey, you know what?
I just had to put that in because it's another Woter classic. Thanks, Kelly.
Oh, we're attacking each other hard. I like it. I must say, before we move on, so ironically enough, I genuinely did make the decision the other day that I think I am going to step away from WAC.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's kind of getting to as soon as Gang Parade and Paradise he decided to kind of just return those back to Gang Parade. I think I'm just bored of his shit now. You know what I mean?
I suppose he didn't try and audition for that all-male group that he was wanting to do.
Oh, God, no. No, thank you. He can lick my balls.
So I just had to do it.
But would you have been tempted to do something like that?
No.
No? Oh, bless you. So before we start, how are you getting on?
Yeah, I'm getting on fine. Since the last time we spoke, I said I was what they call a key worker been working throughout the pandemic. It was called a general assistant. Now it's called a housekeeping and hospitality assistant.
Oh wow!
And so I've been doing mainly cleaning bedrooms, doing laundry, serving food for a care home that I work at. So I've been doing that for 4 years now.
Wow.
Yeah. And
how are you finding yourself in that position?
I'm enjoying what what's happening. And despite that, at one point, we've had 2 COVID outbreaks, but this most recent one is not as bad as about this time last year. So that's the one main thing. It was quite difficult then, so but it's not as difficult now. So
that's good. Have you found that the sector's shifted in terms of kind of how it worked pre-pandemic and where you're at now? What's been the pros and what's been the cons of the company's movement?
One is testing 3 times a week. That's the one main thing. Yeah, that's the one main thing, and also wearing the correct PPE when things happen. So
would that be a positive or would that be a negative?
It can be a positive. It is a positive that you're protected, but same time, some people might not like it, which I understand. So, but we have to learn to live what's going on. So,
yeah, of course. Do you know are there many people in the sector who have kind of gone against the vaccines, or?
I'll tell you that off air. So,
I don't. Obviously, I'm not suggesting that we name and shame. I just mean because I know that obviously the rules are changing now for hospital workers, aren't they? Yeah. They're saying that they're now going to move away from the mandatory. Yeah. So I didn't know how that would work in your area.
Sorry. We've had one person leave at one point, so that's only been about it, because they didn't want to take the vaccine. So at the end of the day, as we all hear it all the time, it's up to people's choice. So
of course. Do you think that it's misinformation, or do you think that it's just, I don't know, people still being nervous about it?
I really don't know, to be honest, because I don't very often ask people why. So that's, like I say, it's up to the people if they want to choose. It's up to them. So I'm not gonna persuade people. It's up to people that want to choose. So
of course. On your position, do you envisage yourself staying with the company?
Hopefully after 5 years. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah. Is there anywhere that you'd like to see yourself in that time, or moving up or moving away from the sector?
Because I used to be a carer at one point as well. Like if the company want me to be a carer, I'm happy to accept it. So if they want me to do it, so that's always been open since I joined. So
of course. Oh, bless you. Well, mate, you're doing absolutely a fantastic job.
Thank you.
We keep in touch and stuff anyway when we're not doing this, and I love kind of hearing all of the things that you're up to. So before we hold off any longer, please, Andrew, tell us what you've been up to.
Other than been working, and also of course also used to work to the round table. I've done 2 write-ups. So with Beyond Senpai, which is a great place to read when it comes to Japanese music, if it's reviews, interviews, and so much more. Also, there's 2 things that I'm happy to do. But since March last year, I've been working. I created this Facebook group called Bright Ear Fans International, and as it's next month, it's coming up to its 1st year anniversary, and we've already reached 300 people in the group.
Wow!
And I wasn't expecting that much wasn't expecting that amount of people to join so soon. So which I'm quite proud of myself. And also, I help with the Japanese music experience, which is run by my good friend Remco, on his Discord server that he's got. So
congratulations to you on all of those achievements. That's fantastic. So Beyond Senpai, we're obviously aware of through WOTA. Yep. Remco, absolutely fantastic for what he does for the community. With JME, and congratulations to you on your Facebook page, dude. That's awesome. And for any of the listeners, because obviously this is predominantly audio, for the listeners out there, Andrew is wearing what I believe is a Bright Ear shirt.
Yes.
Am I right?
Yes, it is. It's one of their newest shirts from Orion Live, which they started shipping these particular things last at the end of last month, which was a blood it was two designs. One was a Bloody Bride Forever shirt, both long sleeve and short sleeved, and a Level Up anime shirt as well. So,
wow. So what was it, Andrew, that drew you specifically to Brideer? I mean, you love so many different groups. You know, I mean, predominantly, I will always know you as being like the world's biggest Love Bites fan. But what was it that drew you to Brideer in particular, that you wanted to create an international fan group?
Mainly, I've been a fan of Brideer since 2018. Correct me. I'm going to stand corrected. 2017 was they played London Underworld, and which is the only show that I regret not going to, because it would have been a fantastic show, and it was at the same time that it was the last a week before the show that they were announced that they were playing, so I couldn't get time off from my previous job. And I've been following their music, which is freaking awesome, which is some bit of progressive as well as heavy, a bit of a J-pop influence. Correct me if I'm wrong. I do apologise to anyone. Mate, it's quite a lot of heavy stuff. And after Metal Missouri, I've been a fan, which I saw, I've been a fan of them more since then. And then what got me to create the Facebook group in particular was that I was just having one of those thinking, I've seen loads of Facebook groups that for other groups that I like, but also is there one around for the overseas fat group? So I thought I'll have a look around, and then I just thought, hang on, there's none. So I thought, why not create one myself? Create one and bring a couple of people in. And so I asked Beyond Empire's Tom at the time, which sadly at the time, he had other projects with Beyond Senpai and other things. And I asked another good friend who's another good person in the Japanese community called Rob, and we agreed to do the Facebook group. It was originally going to be called Brideer Fans European Fan Base, and then I told someone else, saying why don't change it to worldwide? And then all of a sudden and the same person that said worldwide, so why don't you ask Chris from Orion Live and or Suzuki Records, and he agreed with it and changed it to international, and it's just kicked off since then. So, and it's been a great community so far, which is awesome. So yeah,
that's fantastic. So you've got over 300 members.
Yeah.
And so just explain to me, how does it feel to kind of be in charge of something on that scale?
At first, when I first created it, I thought I wouldn't get that many. I was thinking maybe 50 fans or so, slowly going, because I didn't want to be over optimistic. And all of a sudden, by Christmas, it was by 300. No, before the tour, UK tour that they did early last year, the group reached 200, just over 200 members, and I was like, wow. And then by Christmas it reached 300, which surprised me even more. So it is more of a project when I do in my spare time when I'm not working, but it's going well so far. So when things get bigger, just try and create more things. So we've got I know I haven't done it in ages. We've got Kimi Monday, Haru Tuesday, Misaki Wednesday, Ayami Thursday, and Natsumi Friday, which are the current members. And then we do another day dedicated to the previous members that used to be in the group. So it does get a lot of buzz around the group, and also in each specific day you might learn something new about them in their previous stuff or whatever. So which is just freaking amazing.
So what would today be?
Today would be Ayami Thursday.
Happy Ayami Thursday.
Yeah. At the time,
I'm glad to be celebrating with you. Cheers.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Although I must say, Friday is my favourite day. So who would Friday be?
Natsumi Friday, which is the current drummer of the group.
Natsumi.
Yeah, Natsumi. Yeah.
Natsumi. Oh wow. All hail Natsumi, because Friday is definitely the best day of the week. But,
Always.
oh bless you. Oh dude, that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
And the 300 members. Do you find it's very community driven? How many of those would you say are actively participating in the group?
Oh my goodness, that's a good question. It is a good community. I know you always get people that don't like to be active, but there are good active members in the group. So, but I can't remember how many would be precise. So,
of course.
A lot of members. So, which is the main thing.
Dude, that's brilliant, mate. I'm so happy for you. I'm glad that what I love is seeing people who are so passionate about something, kind of being creative in that endeavor. Because for me personally, the thought of running a group like that, I mean, you know me on social media anyway, but the thought of running a group like that, especially with that many people, I could just imagine that you're just constantly like, oh my God, I need to post, otherwise people will leave, or, you know, it'd be too much for me. I think I'd get like overload.
That's what
I have all along with this. I tried to make a page for this podcast, and I failed in that regard. So I just remember thinking, fuck it, I don't need it. This is running purely on whether or not people have me in their subscriptions. But I mean, some things have changed with this as well. So whereas before everything was kind of hosted on SoundCloud and stuff, I've had to kind of go back and change that. So now only one episode might show at a time, and I plan to kind of upload all of the previous ones onto YouTube.
Oh yeah.
Because podcast hosting, man, it's just so expensive.
Oh yeah.
But well, it is with 3 kids in tow, but it's which is mental as it is. But no, dude, like I say, the thought of running something like that is amazing, is mental to me. This is easy. I find talking easy, which is why I do this.
Yeah.
I think podcasting is great, but I couldn't, for example, like Beyond Senpai. Let's use Beyond Senpai for an example. I cannot imagine, because you said you'd done some write-ups, yeah?
Yeah. I did one for Fate's Gears, which was last year's album, Sky Prison, and it was the full album review. And then the most recent one about Love Bites from, like, was it gone on hiatus, like back in August last year? And and also like, because I've been quite quiet, and I thought I got asked to write up on that. So, and I thought I had some extra bits onto it. Just for the release, so I did some of it, went back, left it for a bit, and then went back to it and had to rewrite it like 3 times.
Wow.
Yeah, because I wanted to focus more on my perspective about the band, not the band themselves.
Of course. Well,
yeah.
And that's great, because you kind of want to give your own personal perspective on it. Yeah. Anybody can find out about the band, I'm sure, online, but it's what they mean to you that kind of matters.
Yeah.
But I must say, the thought of writing anything is just not for me.
Despite the fact that I'm good at reading, writing, and spelling, it's just the understanding of English. So it's just that was my downfall. But I thought I need to do something to improve my writing, and it has helped writing as well as talking. So.
What, if you don't mind me asking, what made you think that what is it about? What is it that you think you struggle with in that sense?
Because I've got Asperger's, which is another form of autism.
Okay.
And like sometimes, like if you say something to me in a long question, like I'm just saying, like you ask me something, like I know you're doing today. Sometimes like if it's too long. Like sometimes I ask the person to break it down so that way it's understandable for me. So,
of course,
yeah,
of course. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, that's understandable, bud. That's understandable. I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't put yourself down for that, though. I wouldn't say that that's in some way something that you can't do. I would just say, and I'm probably the worst for it because I speak far too fast.
It's speaking fine to me.
Well, I'm glad. Thank you.
Yeah, but at the same time, the most difficult thing I had to do, was I've posted it on my Facebook anyway. Like a couple of weeks last month, my nan passed away, and and it was a last minute thing that I had to do the entire funeral service. So,
Jesus, bud.
yeah, I had to do the whole service. It was really going to be just one thing, then turned out I had to do the entire thing. So I had to try and speak clearly and not as fast. So
here's the truth, though, bud.
As well. So that's the other thing.
Yeah. Here's the truth, though, bud. It's everything you would have done would have been perfect.
Yeah.
We are our own worst critics. So I mean, had you not have told me that, I've never noticed. You know, I've never stopped to think, oh, because you've never given me that impression, I'd have never have thought it. So we tend to overthink our own, issues. But honestly, dude, you're brilliant. So don't ever put yourself down for it or think any less for that. Oh.
It's all right.
Oh, are you okay?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, just make sure. Right, well, I'm going to ask you a question now then.
Okay.
The two write-ups that you wrote for Beyond Senpai, the album review for Fate Gear, and the piece on Love Bites about the hiatus, which one are you most satisfied with?
One that I'm
mainly because, before you answer, because I want our listeners who are interested to go and check out Beyond Senpai. I want them to go and find those reviews. So I'd like them to know which you are most proud of.
One that I'm most proud of, it's going to be biased anyway. Love Bites in particular, because when they went on heist, I was literally sad just for a few days. Like reading and everything and how everyone felt as well, so because they were quite a meaningful band to me, so that's the reason. So that's why I got asked to do an in-depth not an in-depth what made them feel,
of course,
who I am today and so on. So
you couldn't find a more passionate Love Bites fan than you, Andrew, if I'm honest. Okay. So let's find out. What was it about Love Bites? Firstly, how did you discover them? How did they kind of strike that chord with you? And what is it about that band that keeps you coming back?
In particular, I'm a big heavy metal fan, in particular, and their style's more which there's two genres that I like, and that's heavy metal or the new wave of British heavy metal, like the likes of Iron Maiden and so on. And I do love power metal too. So, and the band that struck a chord with me was when their debut album came out in 2017, because I've been a fan of their EP, which was more of a demo EP, as the former bassist Miho used to say it. It's their album that I enjoy more. It was just better than their EP, and when they came to London and how the way the crowd reacted on their very first show, I was like, I'm witnessing something huge here. I knew straight away the way the crowd interacted and everything. I thought this band's going to be huge in the future. And the album that struck me most was their second album, Clockwork Immortality, which there were so meaningful lyrics in that I love in that, which has an impact. So, just some in particular.
Wow. So
and then also their music. Even though like I like to downplay new releases, like before new releases, because sometimes like I hype things and then they turn out to be a disappointment. So I don't want to like. So I want to come in blind sometimes, like think of it, see how it works with the rest of it, and then see how I feel after that. So
it's amazing. Who, I mean, I obviously know, but for the sake of the listeners, who is your favourite member of Love Bites?
Oh, if you say currently, it would be the singer Asami with a powerful vocal range and everything. So,
what was it that drew you to her? Was there a particular song out of the discography that made you go, "Wow, that is it. That is one"?
I think it was Epilogue from their Clockwork Immortality. It just showed her what she can do as an actual ballad, and it just sounded so amazing. But there's other songs where she goes really onto the power side, which I do like, which is just amazing. But Epilogue is my standout for that because like she shows her actual ability when she's not going aggressive, if you know what I mean.
Of course. That's amazing. Well, thank you so much. And obviously they're on a hiatus now.
Yeah.
Do we know why? Do they just need some time away?
They have been, the reason why is they have been public on this, that like Asami and Miyako actually both got married during the hiatus.
Wow.
And also Miyako had her first child as well, so they've both been public about it, so which is amazing. Something that I wasn't expecting at that time.
No, of course. Bless you. Now, how did that make you feel?
Happy.
Yeah.
And then since New Year, they've actually been getting more active on their social medias again now, because it actually went quiet just between the time of hiatus and New Year's, and they just posted just little bits, but since then they've got more active again.
Oh, fantastic. It's okay. I was just looking and trying to figure out what you were drinking there. Lipton iced tea?
Yes. Yep,
I'm drinking cola with definitely no rum in it.
Oh, good.
Definitely no rum in it.
School's new album, Seventh From, which comes out very soon.
Oh, when?
I don't know when, but I know it's later this year. I thought I had that because he said rum.
One of the things that I love about you, Andrew, and I love this kind of, because obviously when we were doing WOTA, we had like a WhatsApp group chat, which, in fact, we need to chat on that tonight. But what I loved was you were absolutely the man on the inside.
Yeah.
The amount of messages I'd wake up to where you were like, "There's a new album from this is happening, that's happening." That it were like, "Oh my god, I feel like you're involved in the record deal."
Yeah, I wasn't.
I felt like we were just getting the news ahead of time. It was like, wow.
And also, the other funny thing is that I've got to thank you on this. I've been wanting to listen. I've listen to bits of them, but I managed to do it most recently. I actually bought Pigs on digital.
Yeah.
Yeah, all thanks to you and Jenny mentioning them too.
What did you think?
I'm enjoying them.
I really like Pigs, I must say. I was really sad when Billy Idol obviously broke up, but then came Pigs. And I think Pigs are so punk and rock and roll that I think it's great.
Yeah, because I'll tell you one thing. Especially over the last month, over the last year, of course, I've been listening to our favourites, Mutant Monster, but also listened to Knuckle Chihuahua as well.
Oh, I absolutely love.
And then also my local pub was just last year, September last year, got new landlord and landlady. And what's quite interesting is that I've been listening to a lot more punk over there on the jukebox, and
yes,
it's making me appreciate punk a lot more these days, which is freaking awesome.
I love punk music. I'm trying. I say I'm trying. I'm getting the girls into it now.
And what's amazing that there's actually an actual punk that goes to the pub regularly too.
Yeah.
Yeah, mohawk and everything and all.
With the jacket, with the patches and everything.
Yeah, and also tartan trousers and.
Oh, that's sick. I was never able to pull them off when I was a kid. I'd always stand there looking at myself in the mirror going, you cannot go out like that, you will get battered. That would not work here. I know down south you're all a bit more accepting, but up here it's very much a if I went out with wearing those, I think I might as well have stuck a post-it note on my forehead saying, please hit me. But not and you know me, mate, not that I ever care, but the you know, I was in a quirky area, you know what I mean? But now, maybe I should try it now as a 32-year-old man. Maybe I should try and rock some out now. No, I won't do that. I'm too fat for it now. I wouldn't be able to work.
I much better feel like you're doing it to the gimp. Oh, what's another Wotan thing?
Yeah. Oh, I miss the gig so much.
Yeah.
Before we move on to the next bit, where I'm going to ask you more things about you, obviously, as the guest, what's your opinion on Boris now saying that the end of this month, all COVID things are done, and if you test positive, you still have to carry on?
I'm going to say, as my personal thing, I am actually happy because we need to learn to live with it. So that's what everyone else has been saying. If I catch it while I'm out and everything, I'll catch it. I'm not gonna like say I'm not one of those people. Oh, you should be wearing this, should be wearing it, or blah blah blah. I'm not going to be one of those people. It's up to people's choices what they want to do. So,
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if you're going to be able to buy like a pair of pants that just say I've got COVID, and rather than just telling people, you can just kind of like whip your trousers down. I suppose it's called flashing, but you're kind of delivering you're also delivering like a bit of a public announcement, aren't you? Obviously, never do that. That is now sexual harassment. So we do not do that. I can't believe I've just said it. I'll wear it on a mask instead. But no, I agree with you in the sense. The reason why I ask is because I want to move on to the prospect of gigs, and I feel very much like, well, if that's being said, then hopefully, you know, we will be able to go to gigs again. Although, God knows when I'll have the opportunity to do that. I'll have to get Sean to look after all of the kids, and you know, I'll do one. Yeah, no, sorry. I thought you were going to say something, so I waited.
I thought I was waiting a bit more. That's why I just.
I've just realised I've said that and not actually asked the question. Jesus, how much rum is in this? So what I will say is, what gig would you most want to go to now? Because I obviously, did you go to the Necronomidal one?
Yeah, I went to the Necronomidal, and I went to the Bride Ear London dates. They're the only two shows that I went to last year, and also the local panto, or when I say local panto, at Christmas panto before Christmas. So
wow,
yeah, with the family. So this year got 2 confirmed gigs, and that's Esprit d'Air, which happens next weekend, not this weekend, the weekend after at Islington, and Fate Gear on the 3rd. Plus, I've seen the musical Jeff Wayne's War of the Worlds in April.
Oh, I love that album.
Yep.
Classic.
Yep.
Dun, dun, dun. Fate Gear.
Yep.
The 3rd of March.
Yes.
Fantastic. And where are they taking place?
London's Underworld.
Oh, and Esprit d'Air? London Underworld too?
20th 20th this month, Islington Academy.
Oh, I've been to the Islington Academy before. I've still not been to the Underworld.
It's a good venue, the Underworld, if you like. It's quite
I look forward very much to seeing the photos of that. Who would obviously you're obviously going to say Love Bites, aren't you? If I were to say what band would you absolutely love to see next after those?
Oh, right now I'm like there's a gig that there's two actually. Sabaton. They were meant to do a show next month, but they've postponed it to whenever. So I'm waiting for that show to happen, and also hopefully, like one in particular, and like this one has never been cancelled. It hasn't been rescheduled yet. And that's a Bloodstained Child. They were meant to play the Underworld a couple of years ago before the pandemic really took off.
Yeah, of course they were.
Yeah, because that hasn't been cancelled, so I'm still waiting on that, which I'm waiting patiently for that.
Oh my God. Wow.
It's just to me, so.
Oh, bless you, dude. But no, that's amazing, though. It's so nice to kind of be getting out and be doing things again and stuff like that. Yeah. Personally, I would love for Mutant Monster to come back, or for another kind of Indie Idol and Infamous event. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know how you feel about it, but I feel like I'm starting to get a little bit old for gigs.
You're never old for concerts.
Well, no, I mean, I know. My mum still goes to them and whatnot, but, you know, there are definitely times where I just think, my word, I can't think of anything more exhausting than, like, fighting through a crowd the way that, obviously, would have done when I was younger.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Nowadays, I kind of just go in. I just enter the door and stand to the side, and I'm always like, I'll just stand at the back and I'll wait for the first opportunity to leave. Unless, obviously, it's Hanako, in which case you get straight up to the front.
No surprises there, as always. And get drunk.
Oh, absolutely bladdered. Absolutely bladdered, my word. But they're great gigs, though. There's nobody, and unless they've been to an Idol show, or, you know, or even a proper rock concert, nobody can really understand what it's like. But yeah. So, dude, what is it that you are working on right now? What is your priority of all of the projects that you are working on? What is your priority?
Yeah, I've got two other little projects, and one of them slowly gain track. I've got Unlucky Morpheus Fans International, which has slowly got a little bit traction when it comes to members coming to the group, and also a Fake Gear group called and get there. The Steampunk Sky Prison. That's it. That's what I called it. Yeah, it just suddenly happened at the time when I was thinking of names, and and right now like I said, Bride Ear coming up to its first year anniversary, and we've got something organised on one of those weekends to mark the first year anniversary. So, which is going to be something spectacular. I'm working on something for Bride Ear Fans International. Something I've got that something else, got something going on with that. So, that I'm working on.
Fantastic. Look forward to seeing that.
Which I can't announce on this podcast. So.
It's an exclusive somewhere else, ladies and gentlemen. But no, dude, that sounds awesome, and I'm so glad that you have things working out.
Yeah.
So obviously, the last time that you were here, you were really, really involved with J Soundbite. So can you tell us kind of what happened there?
Like since the last podcast, of course, I did like recorded reviews, which I had done in the past. I did songs of the day, and then of course. But I was trying to balance it with work and also other things, and at one point I actually got a website going for it, so which took a bit of a time to get used to. So yeah, creating that. So that's the one.
And what is the current situation with J Soundbites?
Like I say, it's on an indefinite hiatus. So I like to work back get back into it if it's like if it becomes more of a podcast related. I know you mentioned it before, and when we did our last ever Words of the Round Table, which was more live stream. I might do that at some point, but I just don't know when, or bring it back, but I don't know when. So,
well, when you do, I very much look forward to it. I always thought that it'd make a good podcast, and you were obviously great on Motor of the Round Table.
Yeah.
And you say that final episode, which was live streamed, my God, I was so bladdered in that. Do you know when we finished recording,
and
I
Kelly
fell up the stairs trying to get to bed, and I was sick at 4 times that evening.
Oh my God!
I know. I woke everybody up in the house. It was disruptive.
Oh
but what a night it was.
Yeah. And Kelly got drunk on Prosecco.
I know. I think we all. I think the only person who was. Well, you were drunk.
Yeah, I did get a little bit drunk on.
I think the only person who didn't get drunk was Jenny, and I think that's because she had a shift early morning. Bless her.
Yeah.
But I do miss Wota.
Yeah. I do too.
But it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was so fun. Because what happened was, like, for those of you that don't know in this podcast, basically it just started off like we just like got everything organised, and next thing it just was going on the fly, and then all of a sudden loads of jokes were happening. We were trying to stay on the subject and kept just pointing a joke, and we all just went into tangents.
It was just a total tangent boulevard, wasn't it?
Yeah, every single episode just got so funny.
I just remember thinking, this is amazing.
Yeah.
It was crazy and wild, and I can't imagine what it'd be like to kind of like go back to that.
Yeah.
But I bet it'd be amazing. But it wouldn't be the same unless it was obviously everybody.
Yeah, well, I think yes, I was like being more serious, and Kelly was just joking around, and then you just being you.
Just taking the piss.
Yeah.
You know what? If it wasn't for Wota, obviously when I did this the first time round, when I did an unsociable hour, I tried to make it like so professional.
Yeah.
I was there thinking, I want to come prepared. I want to do this and that, the other. And by the time, the reason why I stopped with the podcast was because I was just like, you know what, this wooden frame, just every episode kind of just sounded the same. By the end, it was like the same questions, because I didn't want to deviate from questions too much, because then I didn't want an earlier guest to suddenly be like, oh, I wish I'd been asked that question. But and so it was just kind of like, oh well, I'll just stick to the format then.
Yeah.
Doing Wota was just like a massive fuck you to the wind, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was just
topics
wild
of each episode, but majority of the time we went all tangents, and then we did our little reviews, which I missed was reviewing something, and like that we all can talk about. That was like our choices.
I think that's it.
It's like every episode it was like all of us that decided, and it would be one from you, one from me, and so on.
Did so well though.
Yeah.
I mean, you think about it. We only had the podcast going for 6 months before we ended up headlining a festival.
Yeah, I forgot about that. IdleCon. And we were just being ourselves.
Yeah, and Necro and Idol opened for us.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
Do you know what I mean? Mate, they're the thing, you should never forget that. They're the things we take to our grave, mate, proudly.
Yeah.
But as you can probably hear, I am full up with cold. I don't know what's going off. But no, dude, it's there's a lot of fun. I'd love for you to start your own podcast. But how do you think your podcast would play out?
I don't know yet. I haven't really thought about it, so...
Do you think it'd be kind of like hey guys, Andrew here. Wow, this album's just come out. And then kind of roll into it. And like your track of the week by the end of it. I think it'd be pretty cool. But, you know.
See what happens over the next few months. See what happens over time. So
definitely, dude. Definitely.
Rush into it. So
What would your song recommendations be for my listeners?
Ooh. Like, if you want to listen to Bridie, which we were talking about earlier, I would say, like, for a beginner's album, I would say go for Bloody Bride, which is their latest album. Which if you want to do, if it's like album, if you want to do listen to an album, but if you want to do song related, I would say go for what is it? I need to look for the song now. I've got the song in my head, but it's the title name.
That's okay, dude. Take your time. There's no rush.
Yeah, I'm not taking my time. I know what I'm on about. And the song is called Light in the Dark. That'd be my song choice. So yeah.
Light in the Dark.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, check that out if you are interested, because I promise you this man knows good music.
Thank you.
What's the general atmosphere where you are now?
Right now, I really don't. Yeah, we're getting our kitchen done, so I've been helping my dad with that, like since part of August. So kitchen and dining room. So every time if he needs help, I'll ask him if he needs it, or he'll ask when I'm available. So right now he's sanding when I say a desk, it's more like where you got the sink, so that's the only thing that needs to be put down. So we've got everything else, all like electrics and all that. It's just we've had loads of delays, so it's just still lots to be done. So,
oh bless! I imagine that costs a fortune down south as well.
I'm not sure. I don't really ask.
Bless, and mate, that's amazing. It's awesome to hear that you're kind of getting involved in that kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Oh, bless you, dude. Well, mate, I mean, we're not done yet by any stretch. But before, how has it been returning to the show? It's obviously very different after the years.
Yeah, it's a lot different because this time, there's more done that I've done over the last 2 years, and then all of a sudden, Woes of the Round Table, we're talking about loads of stuff and everything else. So, which is the one main thing.
Because of how the last 2 years have played out, let me ask you, of the things that you've accomplished and achieved personally, what is your proudest moment?
Proudest moment? I'm going to say two. One is, of course, Bride Fans International. I was expected to reach 300 members before Christmas last year.
Yeah.
Created it in March. And also making when I say, should I call it a successful short stint of Vote of the Roundtable podcast?
Oh, I love that.
Yeah,
it was.
Or was it after the pilot episode? I thought we all clicked straight away. I thought we've got to do this more often. And reaching 100 followers on Twitter before we reached our first episode.
We did, yeah.
Yeah, which is quite fun. And then you out in the in outside, and it just got all dark during the recording, so you saw nothing but black screen.
So there's a story to that. So that was the second episode. So I'd gone for a walk round the corner to the park because my partner at the time. I was round her house, and the kids were here. So it was kind of like, oh well. I know for a fact if I'm upstairs, they'll come and they'll just burst into the room and just be all over the recording. So I was just like, well, I can't do that. So I thought, I know, I'll go for a walk in the local area. And I found this park bench, and I was like, oh yeah, this will be sound. It was planned ahead of time. I didn't just rock up on a bench. But I was there, and then I suddenly realised, shit, I really didn't think about this because I'm here getting drunk on a park bench. And it's now getting dark.
Yeah, and supposedly, you was meant to do it for an exercise at the time.
Yeah, because we were in lockdown. Yeah. So I spent the whole time just there looking around thinking, shit.
2 hours.
But on the plus side, it would have been quite funny if I got arrested on Voter of the Round Table episode 2, wouldn't
it? Yeah. Or fined.
I remember thinking, let them come get me. Fuck them. Oh, mate, they were the days. They were the
Yeah.
days.
Yeah.
But although obviously wouldn't want to go back to that time in the pandemic, so
Yeah. And then hopefully, like since the last podcast, I said I was going to go to Japan in February. It didn't last year. It didn't happen because I was meant to see Bandmate, and I was meant to go rescheduled for August last year. That didn't happen, and hopefully, fingers crossed, the way things are going, there's some Asian countries like Malaysia, Thailand, they're actually opening their borders this month. So hopefully, fingers crossed, by June I might be out in Japan.
oh mate, wouldn't that just be absolutely fantastic to finally be there after all this time?
Yeah,
And so soon.
yeah. Fingers crossed.
Oh mate, fingers crossed for you, because that would be absolutely fantastic. And
Yeah.
I know for a fact that our listeners would 100%
Yeah.
wish you the very best there. What's the first thing you're gonna do?
I haven't really thought about it, to be honest. See what concerts are available. See what concerts are going on. Like if it's Necronomidal, that sort of thing. See what interests me.
You have to reach out and try and find, what's going on and whatnot.
Yep. And hopefully, like I'm not. If anyone is listening, I'm not sorry, Kelly and Tom. Like hopefully, see a couple of artists that they like too, which I follow as well.
Like who?
Satanic Punish, Daredevil. Got to think about them.
Oh, bless, of course, yeah. They are pretty wild for them, aren't they?
Yeah.
But
Yeah, hopefully
I think
see them as well. So
that'd be absolutely fantastic. The thought of going back to Tokyo, I would absolutely love it.
Yeah.
I'd love to just sit back in an izakaya and just drink the night away. All the delicious food.
Yeah.
But with the gentle hum. Oh, mate, you'd love it. And it must be so nice. I remember just before the pandemic thinking, I'm so done with airports. And flying, it's just abysmal. And then the pandemic hit, and now I'm like, I'd love nothing more than to be on a 13-hour flight. But it is what it is. So, dude, before we finish up, please tell me, what would you like to recommend to our listeners?
Oh, and I've done recommendation. I'm going to do another one. I would say, flipping heck. I'm going to do two. One Japanese and one non-Japanese group. For Japan, I would say it would be. Oh my goodness! Flipping heck! I'm gonna do. Even though they're gonna go on hiatus in a couple of months' time, Mary's Blood. Yep, I do recommend Mary's Blood. They're going on hiatus and they're quite a good all-female group. And also another one out there is like Saki, who's like the guitarist for Mary's Blood. She's got a project called Nemophila. Like I recommend them because I know they're getting quite big overseas, and also for overseas bands like or British. I'm going to say this now. Like a band that I do recommend over here would be like. I've gone to appreciate them a lot more over the last few years, and that's Iron Maiden. Definitely.
Great band, classic.
Yeah, definitely Iron Maiden. And I forgot to tell you this. Like I'm going to mention this in the podcast. Like over the last few months, like I've been like at the jukebox at my local pub. Like we had the old jukebox. Like if we couldn't find what we wanted song wise, and then all of a sudden like they got the new jukebox since the new owners took charge, and like I've put on music which I thought I wouldn't put on.
Okay, so
yeah.
like what?
So like even like you can download the music and it'll be available for 8 weeks.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So one of them, Sabaton, is one of them. Like I've put on Sabaton songs, and most recently I thought I'd never seen them on the jukebox. Skindred.
Oh wow, Skindred.
Skindred, yeah. Yeah, Skindred on there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So, Andrew, where can our listeners find you?
If you want to find me on Twitter and Instagram, it's Andrew_BFI. That means Bride Fans International. Both on Twitter and Instagram. Also, I've got the Bride Fans International Facebook group, Unlucky Morpheus Fans International Facebook group, and also, last but not least, the Steampunk Sky Prison fans of Fate Gear Facebook group. They're the ones that I run. So, and also, if there's any fans that want to become fans of Love Bites, I help mod with a fantastic team called Love Bites Fans Worldwide, which I help mod. So I thought I had that in there too. And also, I'm going to do one plug-in. My recommendation is Beyond Senpai. End of.
How dare you call them out on my podcast? I had enough of that with Wota.
No, I just sort of thought I'd give them a recommendation. So, like, check out Beyond Senpai.
I know, mate, and I'm joking. Beyond Senpai, I absolutely love. They are fantastic. Please go check them out. Ladies and gentlemen, please go check out all of those, because I cannot emphasize to you how hard Andrew works on his projects. It is absolutely inspirational to me, and it is a great source of information, and you'd be really, really helping him out, and I know he'd really appreciate it. Andrew, before you go, I will say that it is my absolute pleasure to have you on as the first person to return to the podcast, and it is my absolute pleasure to see your football team in 5th place.
Oh.
In which I'm hoping that will be the highest there will be. But it has been wonderful having you on, dude. It's so good to be able to chat to you again, because so much time has passed. You're looking very well. I love the hairstyle.
Thank you.
It suits you very much.
Thank you.
For the ladies and gentlemen who cannot see, you're really missing out. You'll have to check him out on social media so you can see it. Andrew, it has been wonderful. Dude, thank you so much. I wish you the absolute best with the evening ahead. Have you got anything nice planned?
Not really.
Just chilling?
Yeah,
I
just
like
chilling.
it. I like it. Buddy, you take care of yourself, and thank you again.
Yeah, thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was the, as always, wonderful Andrew Goodhue. Please check him out on the links provided, and please support him from wherever you are. I will be back next time whenever I choose to. Good luck until then. Stay safe.